Future Kaylin here. Just wanted to disclaim that the video that you're about to watch, I recorded that a while ago. In the video, I keep on referring that Ellie is a month old. That is definitely not the case anymore. She is definitely older than a month old. Yeah, just definitely wanted to clarify that. It definitely sucks that it took me so long to finally finish this video. I just didn't realize how long it would actually take, and the fact that Ellie is occupying the majority of my time, so it's a little more difficult to post nowadays. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump back into the video. Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. First off, I have tried to film this video multiple times, and now that I am a mom, I've realized that it is way more difficult to actually sit down and make a simple video, especially a sit down video. This is probably my third time trying to film it, but yes, so if you didn't already know, I gave birth to my daughter. My gosh, that sounds so strange. A little more than a month ago. She's actually behind me right now. She's napping. This month has just been insane. Definitely just like a roller coaster of emotions, as other moms describe it. It's true. It's been such an amazing yet really tough season, just kind of figuring out motherhood and adjusting our lives to a newborn. She's just so precious, and she's just the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life, and we love her obviously so much. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the stuff that I actually used at the hospital. I had filmed a video prior talking about what I had packed in my hospital bag, and in the middle of editing I went into labor, but I thought it would be more beneficial to actually share what I ended up using. I feel like that would be more helpful to people. Honestly, I surprised myself. I ended up using only half of the stuff that I brought. I definitely overpacked, just being a first-time mom and just wanting to be prepared. So the first thing that I brought to the hospital is a diffuser. So I wasn't planning on bringing a diffuser, but then as we got closer I realized that it wouldn't hurt to bring a diffuser and just to have something that was relaxing to me, and I do feel like it made such a difference. The next thing that I brought, and oh my goodness, if you take anything from this video, definitely invest in a portable fan. Basically, I ended up using it after I gave birth, and honestly, like, I went through like feeling really cold and then like really hot. This definitely came in handy, especially when I was trying to get some rest. Basically like has these legs and you just like kind of wrap it around any surface. There's like buttons in the back to adjust. The next thing that I brought is my makeup bag. Don't feel like I need to show it, but I wanted to bring it just in case I needed it, and I did actually end up using makeup a few times. It helped me feel a little more put together. I would highly recommend, I don't have it with me because it's dirty currently, but a robe. Women were recommending to bring like a robe or just something to keep you warm, because again, it's just like you go through like being hot, but then like you're like really cold, and yeah, able to like cover myself up when people would like enter the room was really helpful. So I definitely recommend having like a robe or some sort of a cover-up. We ended up staying at the hospital for 3 nights, just because they wanted to do a few tests on her because she was premature. Kind of having PJs and like just different clothes that I was able to change out of in and out of was helpful for me, just to make me feel less gunky and dirty, I guess. Another thing was a pair of slippers to wear around your room, or just like inside the hospital in general. Basically had slippers that were kind of like a rubber material, so I was able to use them in the shower as well. The Freedom Mom boxers, I definitely use them all, but I will insert a picture right here. My baby shower, I got like the whole Freedom Mom postpartum kit. I used whatever the hospital gave me, I think the first night, but the Freedom Mom boxers are like such good material, and they're definitely more like secure, and so I found that to be like really nice to have. Definitely not a necessity, but if you're gifted them or you're able to get them, definitely recommend them. The kit came with 4. I brought 2 of them, and then the other 2 I used at home. Oh gosh. Always disposable. Oh my gosh. She's making so much noise. These are the always disposable underwear. Basically, it looks like this. These are just really nice to have. They just kind of mimic a normal like underwear, I guess. But they're disposable. You can just toss them after, and they definitely like absorb just like everything. And when I came home, I ended up just continually using these. Next thing I feel like everyone includes in their video, but basically a Perry bottle. This one I was gifted, but I know that the hospital gives you one as well. I ended up using the Perry bottle that the hospital gave, which is, again, it's fine. But I was gifted this, and it came in handy, especially when I came home. I ended up using this. But basically, like, it comes up, and then you flip it and use it to, like, rinse and stuff like that. These are the Instant Ice Maxi Pads. They're just a huge, like, pad. You fold in half to activate it, and basically it becomes, like, really cold, and it's just, like, really soothing. The hospital has their own version of this. Although either one works well, I do feel like this one is a little more like softer material. This is definitely not like a necessity. I just got it in my kit, and I stocked up on the ones that they give you in the hospital, and I used them at home. I used them for like the full 2 weeks of recovering. In my kit, I also had the Freedom Mom cooling pad liners. So these are basically little wipes that have witch hazel in them. And so basically what I would do is I would use the underwear and then put the ice pad and then put this on top. And it just like helped during the healing process. But this is good stuff. This is my second pack that I had. So yeah. Another thing that I ended up using, I don't have anymore because I ran out, but the body armor drinks are crucial. So I had watched a lot of videos where a lot of women were talking about how body armor was really good for hydration and lactation if you were planning on like breastfeeding or pumping. So I ended up bringing a few of those to the hospital and just like sipping on those. They honestly taste pretty good, especially because they are coconut water base. And so if you're into coconut water, then you'll probably enjoy them. If you don't like it, maybe stay away from that. So I really enjoyed those. I still drink them to this day because I am pumping. Another thing is just having like shampoo and conditioner. A lot of women would say that their hospital provided shampoo and conditioner, and weirdly enough, mine didn't. Thankfully, I ended up just like bringing my own because I had a preference on what kind of shampoo and conditioner that I use, and I'm glad that I did because my hospital, at least in my room, did not have it. I also completely forgot to mention this product, and it's because I am currently sitting on it. This is what they call a donut pillow. And basically it's just like a cushion that you can sit on, and there's a hole in the middle so that you put pressure down there. But this was honestly a lifesaver. You can just put it on a seat, you can put it on the floor. Even to this day, like, I'll use it just to sit on, and it is very comfortable. As far as baby stuff to bring, obviously you want to bring their going home outfit and just like a few outfits in general. Like, besides that, you really don't have to bring anything else, because the hospital really honestly does provide all of the baby stuff, like the diapers, the wipes. Our hospital gave us like a pacifier and a little like snot sucker thing. But I will say that we did end up like purchasing premature clothes like ahead of time. Before she was born, I like always had like a weird inkling feeling that she was going to be delivered early. I wasn't anticipating a whole month early. Because I had that weird inkling, able to get a few premature clothes, we were able to use them. There are a few things that I didn't end up bringing that I really wish that I did. One of those being a pillow. The hospital does provide the pillows, but they're just like not comfortable. They're more flat. They're, you know, hospital pillows. Having a good quality pillow with you makes all the difference, especially like when you're trying to sleep. I feel like I would have had better sleep if I had a better pillow. The next thing is a towel. So I ended up showering, and I ended up using the towels that the hospital gives you. At the end of the day, a towel is a towel. Like, it's not that big of a deal. And boy, was I wrong. Although a towel is just a towel, like, the ones at the hospital are more like tough and not super like absorbent. At least like I felt like it wasn't. It's just one of those luxury things. Obviously you don't need to bring it, but I feel like I would have felt more better. The last thing is kind of random, but like more hair ties. I brought one hair tie, and it was more of like a scrunchie. I just kind of wish I had something more discreet. I wish that I had brought more, because I like was just constantly looking for like this one scrunchie that I brought. That is pretty much it for the stuff that I actually ended up using at the hospital. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of briefly talk about my postpartum journey. I feel like it's just something that people don't talk about enough, and honestly, it's just like postpartum is a real thing. It's not always rainbows and butterflies. I mean, it is a lot of work. Hopefully some moms can relate. I'm still going through it, so I don't know, I just wanted to share like my story. Like when you come home, you're recovering like physically. I ended up having like a 2nd-degree tear. Just like moving around and trying to recover in that sense is already hard enough. You know, you have your newborn and you're trying to like figure things out. So the physical part, like, that's already stressful enough. But like, no one talks about the emotional and the mental side of it. The first 2 weeks were brutal, and a lot of it was due to just like the mental and the emotional aspect of it. There were even times where like it just felt so overwhelming that I just didn't feel capable of like taking care of her and being her mom. I just felt like such a failure. And I know that sounds a little dramatic. No, that sounds a little it's a little dramatic, but do you just not want me to talk? And I know that sounds a little dramatic, but I mean, honestly, when you're going through the motions and you're feeling like just really overwhelmed and you're like a first-time mom, it's honestly, it's a real thing. I definitely know that that's not the case, and I'm more than capable. It's like I didn't necessarily understand the intensity of a mother's love until I had my daughter. And although it's like such a beautiful thing to experience and go through, I think the intensity like freaked me out. And that's just me being just completely transparent. because I know a lot of women like just kind of fall into this mom role and just like love their baby and love being a mom. But I think I honestly kind of struggled with it. I'm also someone who doesn't adapt to change extremely well, and I knew that this was going to be like a huge change, but again, I just didn't anticipate how completely different things would be. Kind of like having to adjust to change, learning how to embrace this motherhood love that I now had for my child was a little like hard for me. I remember I would cry almost every single day if I was feeling overwhelmed, or like even holding her was like so scary to me. Just kind of like tapping into that mom role, I feel like was nerve-wracking for me, strangely enough. Wanting to consistently keep your baby safe and going into like this overprotective like mama bear mode, not wanting anything bad to like happen to your child, and just feeling like constant anxiety that like something bad is gonna happen. But that's kind of like what I was battling and like going through, especially the first 2 weeks, and just being like sleep deprived all the time. Obviously, we're only a month in. I feel like in a sense things are starting to get a little bit easier, but I am still in it. Just with a newborn in general, it's just absolute chaos. On the other spectrum, you know, like you just gain this new life, and it is just so amazing to think your body can provide everything that it does. I definitely wouldn't trade it for the world, even though I'm still like going through the motions and adjusting to this new chapter in our lives. She's definitely worth it, and she's absolutely perfect. And I just can't wait till she develops more of a personality, being able to be alongside her as she grows more and more. That is kind of like a glimpse of my postpartum journey, and just trying to embrace every day and take little steps every day. So unfortunately, she is still sleeping. I would be crazy to try to wake her up and show her on camera. So I am not going to do that, unfortunately. So this is my life. This is what's happening. Just trying to embrace it all. I will see you in my next video, and thank you for watching. Bye.